Thank you for purchasing the Amazing Angle Golf Swing Trainer. I am happy to be a part of helping you improve your golf swing with this fantastic training aid and a revolutionary new way of learning called deliberate practice. This is Keith Haley, PGA Teaching Professional and designer and developer of the Amazing Angle Swing Training System. Like the students that come to me, you probably have asked yourself many times, why am I not improving? I take lessons, hit a lot of practice balls, read instructional articles, and watch golf DVDs. What do I have to do to get better? I have heard these comments at least 1,000 times. Here's the truth. The data now being articulated by the experts in learning say that what we are doing to improve is not exactly what we should be doing. A new concept, referred to as deliberate practice, is now what the experts are calling the holy grail of great performance. The road to great performance in sports, business, music, and many other fields is paved by deliberate practice. Unfortunately, it is tedious and time-consuming and mostly not much fun. It is mentally and physically exhaustive. But there is no doubt the people who reach the heights of great performance have paid their dues in deliberate practice. So, what is deliberate practice? The best explanation is that at an early age, great performers learn to put together perfect chunks of physical positions and movements into a whole motion that accomplish the task perfectly and consistently, and then repeated this practice over and over again. In other words, they broke down the motion of the whole golf swing into little pieces, practiced the chunks of motion until each one was totally functional, memorized them, and put them back together until the whole task was perfectly performed. Notice, I said practice each motion until functional. Tour players' golf swings do not all look alike, but they all are functional. They eliminated what did not work early in their careers. They eliminated their killer moves. They were then able to practice perfectly. In tour professionals, we see the benefits of deliberate practice as the ability to consistently strike a golf ball with accuracy and power under tremendous pressure-filled situations. Unfortunately, the experts say that this ability is usually developed in the first 10 years of the greatest performers' lives, laying the groundwork for a lifetime of great performance. Fortunately for us, most of us do not aspire to become a tour professional. The most common phrase uttered by my students is, "I just want to improve enough to enjoy the game more." The Amazing Angle is the perfect training aid to help you improve your swing using deliberate practice. Start practicing perfect positions and movements with your Amazing Angle today. And as always, please practice slowly and deliberately. Caution: before you start any practice session with the Amazing Angle, make sure your swing zone is clear.
This section describes the specific positions and movements that you will be practicing with your Amazing Angle Swing Trainer. The quality and number of perfect repetitions determine your progress. Please start slowly and do the repetitions precisely as shown. Moving the Amazing Angle at fast speeds is counterproductive to your progress. Starting with a few repetitions on each separate segment is mandatory. When repetitions are perfected, exercises should be conducted in sets of 6 repetitions. Quality and quantity equal genius.
As you begin to watch this video, keep in mind that the ultimate goal of practicing with the Amazing Angle is to accomplish the following 3 tasks. 1. Create a better impact position, allowing you to strike the back of the ball and make a forward divot. 2. Create enough distance to negotiate the golf course. And 3. Create a consistent trajectory and curvature for your shots. Differences in the way swings appear is a given. The goal is to eliminate any of the 7 killer positions and movements described in this video that may now be destroying your ability to improve your game. We will begin by examining the address position. Your grip should be in the fingers, not the palms, for any full swing. The training grip provided on your Amazing Angle is the most effective position for fingers on the grip, regardless of your personal choice of the 10-finger, Varden, or interlock grip. As you can see, the pelvic pistol is pulled back and prepared to fire during your downswing. Your arms are hanging naturally with no extraordinary tension. The width of your feet will be adjusted depending on the club, with the driver slightly wider than medium or short irons. The ball position is basically in front of the left side of the chest for right-handed players. Feet are both pointed out at a 30-degree angle. Weight should be distributed between the balls of the feet and heels. Pay attention to your alignment. It will help determine the original starting direction of the ball and its flight curvature. I strongly recommend the use of alignment sticks when practicing your address position. After improving your new, more effective swing positions and movements, it is a very good idea to experiment with open or closed alignment positions to determine your natural, consistent ball flight pattern. At the address position, the student sees equal portions of green and yellow on the color guide bar. Because the inside moves the outside, the move away is initiated with the forward shoulder. This movement has a downward-backward feel, as if you are coiling your body into the ground. There is no lateral movement. As the upper torso rotates, the arms maintain an extended position. When the forward arm is parallel to the ground and the target line, both arms are in an extended position. The amazing angle ball has not yet connected to the forward arm. Your spine maintains its centered position, and you see equal portions of yellow and green on the color guide bar. At the end of the backswing, the forward shoulder has completed its downward-backward rotation, and your back should be turned completely away from the target. You feel totally coiled and pressed down. Your shoulders are on a diagonal plane. They are not level. Your hips have reacted to upper torso by turning about 45 degrees. Your lower body is very quiet, reacting to the upper torso rotation. There is no lateral motion. At the end of the backswing, the amazing angle ball is now connected and the arms have maintained their extended position. I refer to this as 3/4 thumbs up position. The amazing angle color guide bar is in the all yellow position and is ideally parallel to the ground and the target line. The end of the backswing is generally where a catastrophe occurs for the higher handicap player. I often see a broken down, reverse weight shift, or even a stand-up position at the top of the backswing. These are non-recoverable killer positions and virtually destroy any possibility of a correct downswing. If you have practiced slowly and deliberately, your swing is now fully coiled. A correct end of the backswing position is the key to an effective start of the downswing. Practice this loaded 3/4 thumbs up, totally coiled position slowly and deliberately. In the next section, we take on the critical first move in the downswing. The downswing begins from the ground up. Because the inside, the torso, moves the outside, the arms, hands, and club, the knees and feet must start the downswing with a movement I call the bump. The bump is the movement that separates the lower torso from the upper torso, starts the weight moving forward, and maintains the energy that was built during the backswing. It is a distinct movement toward the target with the knees and feet. As your lower torso makes its movement to the target, the arms in amazing angle are dropping downward. The correct direction of the first move of the amazing angle from the top is downward. Notice how the amazing angle contact ball maintains its connection to the forearm during the drop. This exercise is one of the most important elements of practicing with your amazing angle. We have all heard the terms throwing the club away, coming over the top, or casting. These terms describe the incorrect movement of the arms, hands, and club moving outside and away from the body too quickly from the top of the backswing. These false movements cause a severe outside swing path to occur while throwing away precious clubhead speed that should be retained until closer to impact. An incorrect movement from the top of the backswing is devastating and occurs frequently in a higher handicapper's downswing. It is, in fact, the worst of the killer moves. I can't stress the importance of executing the first movement down from the top correctly. The movement is downward and outward, not outward and downward. Practice this movement slowly and deliberately until habituated. As your downswing continues, your right elbow is dropping toward the right hip for right-handed players. Your spine is maintained in the center of the swing. I like to refer to this as the head staying back, not down. As the amazing angle drops, the student begins to see both yellow and green on the color guide bar. The contact between the amazing angle ball has been maintained with the forward arm, guaranteeing preservation of lag. Lag is the word that describes the position of the angle between the forearm and the club shaft during the downswing. Through the magic of lag, the speed of the club is held back until the final milliseconds of impact and beyond, creating a huge amount of club head speed. The club is now speeding up as it is directed to impact instead of slowing down. This is a critical part of the reason that great players can create huge distances with their shots. Please pay serious attention to this part of the downswing. After the bump and drop has been performed successfully, the outward component of the downswing is guaranteed by a pushing out of the hips on the way to impact. Looking at films of the greatest players at impact, the hips are in a pushed out position, facing slightly to the right of the target line. The feeling of continuous rotation of the hips is in fact just a feeling. It may also be helpful to feel that the lower body is pushing and springing up, while the arms are extending down due to centrifugal force prior to and at impact. There is of course no movement of the head upward, even though the great players feel like the torso is stretching slightly upward. Notice that your forward shoulder is in an up position, demonstrating that the shoulders have worked on playing. The student starts to see slightly more green than yellow on the color guide bar as the hands move to impact. The next position to examine is of course impact. That moment of truth that results in a great ball strike or a miss. Remember, every part of the swing you have perfected up to this critical point allows a great impact position to happen. Look closely at the position of the left or forward wrist. It is flat. As your torso has moved into its outward 45-degree position, the pivot, which is of course the workhorse of the swing, has moved arms, hands, and amazing angle to impact in a forward-leaning position toward the target, displaying the flat left wrist, bent right wrist position. The amazing angle ball is in a position in front of the color guide bar, which shows slightly more green than yellow. Most high handicap players at this point have hit at the ball with their hands, producing what is now commonly called the flip or scoop at impact. Killer move. Flipping is very bad. However, I always see this flip position at impact with players struggling to hit the ball solidly. Fat or top shots and a serious loss of power will result if you flip the ball, not to mention the loss of directional control because of an inconsistent face angle position. Please make impact a large part of slow and deliberate practice with your amazing angle. Higher handicap players also may hang back or lurch forward into impact. Please note that to maintain club head speed, the spine position must remain stable. During the section on the line drill, you will learn how to take your new perfect impact position with your amazing angle and convert it into a solid back of the ball contact and a forward divot, the keys to power and accuracy. As your arms pass the impact position, they remain very extended. I describe this as the feeling that someone is trying to pull the club from your hands. Your arms are once again parallel to the ground and parallel to the target line, and the amazing angle ball has not yet connected to the arm. The color guide bar is now in an all-green position from the viewpoint of the player. As you view this section, notice how the hands and arms rotate naturally. The amazing angle was designed to help you feel this naturalness of hand rotation. The position of the weight in the amazing angle swing trainer virtually assures the correct natural rotation of hands through impact. Because of the importance of the impact position, I believe that the player must be more concerned with the position of the arms, hands, and amazing angle at impact, and let momentum take care of the rotation of the hands post-impact. Don't try to make it happen, just let it happen. Your hands must be trained, but simply, the bar is open slightly on the backswing, it is in a square position at impact, and it is rotated closed as it moves past impact. Notice, as you practice the impact and post-impact positions, make sure that your spine remains stable. A significant part of allowing hands to rotate correctly is your ability to keep your spine and head in a stable position to and through impact. Observe the finished position. Your spine is straight, your hips totally rotated, arms, hands at amazing angle are at rest. I have always heard it said, and I believe it to be true, that a balanced finish happens when everything that occurred prior to it was performed in the correct order. So, if you cannot finish your swing on balance, you can be sure that some movement of your golf swing is out of order. Now let's take a look at how you will practice the 7 positions and movements. Remember, you can practice each of the 7 individually, in chunks of 2 or more pieces, and in the total swing mode. Always remember, the key to progress is slow and deliberate practice. This final segment of the DVD focuses on the line drill. The line drill is an indispensable part of training with the Amazing Angle Swing Training System. In the Amazing Angle Swing Training System, the line drill is the actual physical practice of correctly and consistently striking the golf ball first and creating a forward divot. Remember, impact is everything. Striking the golf ball correctly may be the most important skill in golf. It must be practiced slowly and deliberately, and very frequently. I have had students tell me that they did not realize that they had to strike the ball before the ground. This may be the most critical fundamental in golf, so let's state this principle clearly. As the club head descends through impact, you must strike the back of the ball first, then strike the divot. Here is how the line drill is conducted. As you can see, a line is drawn or scratched in the ground parallel to the practice range tee line. I suggest that about 6 balls be placed on the line. The drill can be performed using the chipping, pitching, or full swing stroke. Each ball should be struck with attention to detail. I have found personally that many players do not realize that they are regularly hitting behind the ball by as much as 3 inches. This statistic tells me that a majority of golfers, especially beginners and high handicappers, at the most critical point in the golf swing, do not actually see or feel this most critical fault during impact, the most important 1/10,000th of a second in the golf swing. Notice that in the first series of shots, the motion is very slow and deliberate. The focus is on the strike of the back of the ball. In the second series of shots, the motion has expanded the task to making a correct forward divot. Put some time in this all-important drill. It will pay huge dividends in the consistency of your ball striking. Finally, Remember that the amount of perfect repetitions that you perform with your amazing angle will ultimately determine your progress. Set aside a time to practice each day. It doesn't have to be a marathon session. Practice slowly and deliberately with your amazing angle until each chunk of your swing is perfected and effortless. When you are lucky enough to be at the practice range, put some time in on the line drill until you can consistently strike the back of the ball. Enjoy your practice, but be specific about how you spend your precious time. And as always, please practice slowly and deliberately.
Finally, please direct all comments and inquiries to Keith Haley at jkhpro@pga.com. Please visit the blog site, keithhaleygolf.com, for instructional updates, or if you are interested in arranging personal instruction here in Dublin, Ohio. Once again, thank you for your purchase of the Amazing Angle Swing Trainer. Practice slowly and deliberately.